So I'm on a business trip right now. I just left home. I'm gonna be away for literally one day. This is the first time I've ever had a work trip that's literally like fly in one night and then fly back the other night. It's basically gonna be super quick, but I figured while I'm here, I wanted to make a little check-in video and talk about the last 30 days and what it was like to make content for 30 days straight. I know I already shared some of this stuff just like as a blog a few days ago and just wanted to elaborate on it because it felt like there was a ton that came up as I was doing this 30-day challenge. The first thing that happened is that my audience grew by just about 0. I had like 275 subscribers on YouTube and now I have like 280 or something like that. And I had like 1,700-ish followers on Instagram, and I think my followers on Instagram actually went down, which is hilarious. But interestingly enough, the people that I do know that had already been following me responded really positively, and I just had a ton of connections with people that I haven't spoken in a while and was just on a lot of people's radars that I'm not normally on. Within the last few weeks, I've probably had 5 people hire me to do video or photo work for them just because they saw a reel or a video that I made during this challenge. So I've realized that it's actually a lot better just to provide value to people and to entertain and to create good content than to try to like sell yourself or do advertisement. I've tried like optimizing my website and I've tried doing kind of posts of like hire me on Instagram, and I've gotten so much more feedback and have gotten hired for a lot more things since I've just started kind of making stuff that I like. And it's also just paved a way for really cool conversations, especially the time that I spent with John Woolner. Anytime I kind of publicly share some of my thoughts on Christianity, spirituality, where I'm at with God, it just has been a cool way of generating really sweet conversations. It really surprised me how many people actually went through both of the podcasts so far that I've made and just listened to all of it, and it just gave me some really cool talking points with them when I got to see them in person. So the second big thing that I found with making these videos is that it was more important for me to just get reps in and do the exercise of making content, making a video every day, than the results that came from it. Because obviously the results weren't insane. My audience didn't grow. There wasn't like this crazy viral thing that happened. And yet I just sort of quietly for 30 days got to work on my video skills, on my content skills, on my ideation, on taking things from idea to published video on YouTube. And that just inherently was super good for me. It improved my video and photo workflows a lot. Just getting that many reps in and having to do it every single day just makes you more efficient at whatever you're doing. I also just feel like I generally improved my communication skills, especially on camera. Talking to like a metal box on top of a tripod is really hard and feels super awkward at first, but it's just one of those things where doing it over and over again just makes you better at it. It's just kind of a guarantee. I feel like I've been trying to just learn how to be more animated and be a little bit more precise in my tone and how I'm speaking during videos, and even just eye contact. Like you may have noticed my first videos, like I had a really hard time looking in the camera lens, and now I'm like dead on ya. I also just think a big piece of this was demystifying the creation process and the content generation process. For a long time, I think I looked at people who put out an insane amount of content and just thought that it was this insurmountable amount of work that I could never figure out how to do. And honestly, at the end of the day, like you just hit record and you do the next thing and you do the next thing and you do the next thing, and eventually you have a published YouTube video. And it was just really helpful for me to realize like it's not that complicated of a process. It's actually fairly straightforward. You just have to say yes to doing it more often, and how difficult you think it's gonna be is actually far less than how difficult it actually is. So it was just good for me to have something that really forced me to keep going at it. And then the last big thing that I touched on in my blog post was that overall, whatever you put into your body is what you're gonna get out of your body. And your body at the end of the day is the main thing that's doing the work that you want it to do, so you better treat it well. I started this whole challenge choosing kind of 4 little habits I was gonna change up in my life and hoping that that would be a really good platform to build for a generative phase of life, or a phase of life where I was gonna put out more than I normally do. So after 30 days of drinking no alcohol, of running almost every day, of waking up much earlier than I normally do and of having almost no social media apps on my phone the entire time, I can confidently say that I'm a much better version of myself than the person who started this challenge. And I think that just by itself would be worth it, even if it wasn't something that I was building content from. But also, trust me, as a creative, it has made a world of a difference to have a brain that just feels probably like 2 times more functional than it did last month, just because I tweaked a few little behaviors in my life. It's not like not drinking alcohol or running more often is like you're giving up that much, but the benefits and improvements that I've experienced just in my mental health, in my clarity, in my focus sessions, and when I'm able to like just sit down and grind out work has been insane. I generally like really don't want to look back. I don't feel like this is gonna end after this 30 days. It just feels like I want to keep moving forward in life with a much healthier set of habits, and this has been really a good catalyst to get going on some of that. So overall, I've learned a ton, and I also just feel like I've grown a lot as a creator and as a human being over the last 38 days, and I really do owe it to Jeff and Josh, who challenged me over those cigars like a month and a half ago. It has been really sweet, so shout out to you guys. Thanks so much for being amazing brothers, and expect me to keep making stuff. I don't really expect to slow down too much. I don't have the expectation on myself that I'm gonna make a video every day for the next months and months and months, but just generally, I do love the cycle of creating content, and I'm excited to keep seeing where that goes. Okay, good night. I'm going to bed.